Well, walk around is more of a thing I do at fairs and festivals. Although I have done that for churches too, where they're doing a community event. That's a lot of fun because a lot of people will tell you you can't do vent up close. It's a big source of debate, and I've had that discussion with people many times at Vent Haven, and it's just not true. You can do, because when I walk up and I've got a puppet and the children start talking to the puppet, I'm not even there as far as they're concerned. So there's nothing that says you can't walk up and do walk around vent, and a lot of guys do it. In the ministry, I've done everything from just Sunday school, vacation Bible schools, children's rallies, to actually coming in on a Sunday morning and taking the whole Sunday service, delivering the message along with my friends, but also doing the message in there itself. I've gone out, when I was performing part-time, I had a regular job. I worked for the Salvation Army at a drop-in center on Skid Row in Vancouver. So we were connected to an alcohol treatment center, and I had actually done shows there. And it got to the point where I wasn't allowed to go if I didn't bring one of the guys with me. The men in the treatment center loved the puppets. And those who do ministry will understand when you're in a place like one of these alcohol treatment centers with a lot of really, hardcore guys, you can preach in a way you can't preach anywhere else. I call it cut the crap preaching. You get right to your message. And it's funny that to watch people who realize it's okay to laugh in church. God's not going to strike you dead if you laugh in church. Mm-hmm. So it presents a message in a unique way. A lot of people have never seen before, even though it's the message they've heard before. They'll listen to them because one of our favorite stories we do is telling the story of David and Goliath, and I do it with Horton. And he wants to be David because he hears David is a brave guy, so he jumps wants to be in the story. And then he finds out what he's actually up against, and that's where the fun begins.
In the forums not too long ago, right before we taped this anyway, I don't know when it's going to actually come out, but in the forums, there was a discussion about doing the walk-around vent and people being afraid of people pulling on their puppets.
Right.
And it seems to me I read this in two places.
Yeah, I saw it on yours. It was also discussed in the Magic Cafe.
Okay.
And in the Vent forum about, and somebody I think on Facebook too in one of the Vent groups was talking about, people punching their puppets or pulling on their arms and legs and, general puppet abuse.
And when I got that question, because I don't do walk around, I naturally came to you because I know you do a lot of it. And could you share, even though you've went onto the forum and shared the advice there, could you share the advice here with the people who are listening?
It really comes down to you have to have control of that puppet at all times. If you've got a group of kids who start gathering around you and you get that one or two that are being abusive, the biggest mistake you can make is to have the puppet say ow or don't do that, because now you've created a game. Let's make the puppet say ow. I learned that the hard way. Sometimes if it goes far enough, you actually have to get if there's security on the grounds, whatnot, you have to get them involved. Most times I find I can just sort of turn from them and just walk away and go visit another group. If they don't want to have fun, if they're going to be abusive with the puppets or whatever, I just say, well, I think we're going to go visit some other folks, and we just walk away.
Okay. Good advice. Just remove yourself from that situation.
It's the quickest and easiest. You don't want to, even though you feel like it, you don't want to yell at the kids. You don't want to say, get away from them, you little, because that kind of brings down your reputation. Mm-hmm. You want to handle it professionally. And so, to me, I sometimes have gone as far as to talk to the parents, because I explain to them, this is how I earn my living, and these are my tools. And they're very expensive tools, and I can't afford to have children trying to rip their arms off. Because I have actually had parents tell their children, go over and, the thing I've never understood, stick your fingers in the puppet's mouth. I don't get it myself, but I have to pull the puppet away from them, and some of them are persistent at it, and so I've actually had to go to the parents and very nicely say, please ask your child not to do that. I don't stick my fingers in their mouth. I'd like it if they didn't do that to the puppet.
Yeah.